Hello, friends!
Welcome to episode 20 of our podcast, Kidsplorers. We're so excited that you're joining us on our journey to explore and discover new things. You might remember that in our last episode, we explored the great Smilodons, who are also known as the saber-toothed tigers. These magnificent big cats, who became extinct about 10,000 years ago, were incredible hunters who hunted giant animals such as mammoths, ground sloths, bison, and more. Just imagine the strength that is needed to take down these gigantic animals. And just as we finished exploring this extinct animal, Professor Smartypants told us that he was going on a vacation to Niagara Falls, suggesting that this should be an awesome topic to explore this week.
I'm so excited for this topic, but wait a minute. Shouldn't Professor be here to help us explore Niagara Falls?
Well, I have good news and bad news.
Oh no, what are the bad news?
Sadly, Professor is still in Niagara Falls. He loved his vacation so much that he decided to stay there a bit longer.
Oh no, but how are we going to explore the falls then?
This is where the good news comes in. Professor suggested that we should come out to Niagara Falls to meet him there to explore the topic. Are you guys up for a road trip?
Yes, road trip. But wait, where are the Niagara Falls?
Great question. We'll be heading to the Canadian-American border, and more specifically to the Niagara River, which flows in the area where the province of Ontario and the state of New York meet.
This is so cool. So what are we waiting for? Let's go!
We're finally here. Hey, look over there. I could see the famous Niagara Falls.
Oh my goodness, you're right. They are beautiful and ginormous.
And super loud.
It is said that Niagara Falls is as loud as thunder.
Professor!
It's so nice to see you, Professor.
Hi friends, I'm so happy that you decided to join me in this beautiful place. I'm super excited to explore these falls with you guys.
We can't wait. So, where do we start?
Well, as you know, I have been in the city of Niagara Falls for a whole week now, and I've been exploring these beautiful falls and the surrounding area. I thought it would be awesome if we started exploring it right from the beginning.
That's a great idea. You know how much I like to learn about things by starting right at the beginning. So, how can we do it this time?
To learn about Niagara Falls, I have to take you back about 12,300 years, which means that to learn about it, we have to imagine that this area obviously looked very different back then.
How did they look back then?
Oh, great question. Let's look at Niagara Falls today. The city of Niagara Falls is filled with buildings, roads, people, and cars, but this was not the case 12,300 years ago.
Around the time that the falls formed, the region of southern Ontario was covered by a 2-kilometer thick glacier, which is a sheet of ice. This is because 12,000 years ago, North America lived through an ice age.
You're right, but actually, around that time, the ice age was slowly coming to an end. This means that the temperature was warming up, which caused the ice to start melting. The water from the melting ice slowly started to form lakes, such as the 5 Great Lakes of Canada and America. It is water from these lakes that flows into the Niagara River, and eventually comes down to the giant Niagara Falls.
Interesting fact. Did you know that the strength and speed with which water flows down the river are similar to those of a great tsunami?
Tsunami? Like the topic we explored in episode 4? That's incredible.
But even that is not the end of the story, because the falls are surrounded by something called escarpment. Escarpment is the rocky cliff around the falls. Since we live in a climate that gets freezing temperatures, the freezing and warming process, which takes place every year, gradually causes this rocky wall to erode.
Wait a minute. What does erode mean?
Erosion is the process in which the land wears off. What Susanna is saying is that the escarpment is gradually losing some of its rocky wall because of things like weather changes. This means that the falls are changing all the time.
That's super interesting. I would have loved to see how the falls changed since they first started to flow.
I also would have loved to see this. But did you know that no humans lived in the Niagara region at this time? Actually, the earliest people believed to have settled in this region came around the year 1400. These people were indigenous people.
That's so cool. I didn't know any of this till today.
Hey guys, I know another interesting fact about Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls have 3 waterfalls. One of them is mostly on the Canadian side, and the other 2 are on the American side.
You are correct. The falls on the Canadian side are called the Horseshoe Falls because they are shaped like a horseshoe. These falls are actually the biggest of the 3.
Did you know that the Horseshoe Falls are the most powerful waterfalls on our continent?
Whoa, that's so interesting. And it definitely explains why it's so loud here.
It really does. But let's not forget about the American side, friends. The American side has 2 of the 3 falls. The larger one is called... Wait, can you guys guess what it's called?
Maybe the American Falls?
Exactly. It's called this, obviously, because these falls are on the American side. And its smaller neighbor is called the Bridal Veil Falls. These falls are quite a bit smaller than the Horseshoe Falls.
Another interesting fact. Did you know that the Niagara Falls generates electricity for the United States and Canada?
You're absolutely right.
How does it do that?
The incredible force of the water falling from the Niagara Falls, which is 150,000 gallons to be exact, generates something called hydroelectricity, which means electricity which comes from water. This electricity provides power to millions of residents in Canada and America.
I love to hear this. Hydroelectricity is much more environmentally friendly source of electricity than some other ones.
Absolutely. And if you wonder how strong the flow of the water is, you can just take a look yourself by getting onto a boat that will take you up the falls.
Wait, what? A boat could take you up to the falls?
It absolutely can. If any of our listeners are little daredevils, they will be delighted to know that there are boats that can take them right up to the falls. If you choose to take this ride, we cannot recommend enough that you wear a special poncho to keep the water from soaking you. You see, other than the water that's rushing down the falls, there's a lot of mist that is created by the falling water, which can get you wet in just seconds.
It really does. I know, because I was drenched when I took this ride. And funny enough, these boats have a very fitting name. They are called the Maid of the Mist boats.
I was so shocked to learn that these boats actually started to operate in the year 1846. That's 176 years ago. And speaking of daredevils, did you guys know that since people discovered Niagara Falls, 11 people walked over the falls in a tightrope?
What is a tightrope?
A tightrope is exactly what it sounds like. It is a rope that is attached at 2 sides, and a person tries to walk starting on one end and finishing on the other, just like in a circus. And the daredevils don't end there.
That's right. In the year 1901, an American school teacher, Annie Taylor, decided to try her hand in the Niagara Falls business, but she did not walk over the falls. She decided to go down the falls.
Wait, what? How? Why?
These are all valid questions. Well, on her 63rd birthday, Miss Taylor got into a big barrel, jumped into the Niagara River, and made her way down the falls with the mighty force of the water.
That's so scary, but did she survive the fall?
She absolutely did, and she is the first known person to survive this drop, which is a very dangerous journey. Other than just the magnitude of the water dropping, another very dangerous part of the falls are the giant rocks at the bottom of the falls. Just take a look at the bottom of the falls.
Whoa, the rocks are everywhere. I can't imagine someone dropping all this distance and surviving. And the rocks are almost a separate danger. This is crazy.
I also think that this is super, super dangerous. And while many people have not survived this fall, you might be surprised to learn that Miss Taylor was not the only person to survive this drop. Of all the people who fell down the falls, accidentally or while attempting a daredevil stunt, only 16 people have survived.
Wow, I guess the Niagara Falls really do draw huge crowds of people to visit them.
You're right. It is believed that about 30 million people visit the Niagara Falls every year.
And this year, it'll be 30 million and 4. Get it? Because there's 4 of us.
You're right. I'm so glad that we are part of the 30 million visitors. The Niagara Falls are so beautiful.
They really are, and there's a lot to discover around here. Why don't I take you to see the city? After that, we could explore the beautiful trails along the Niagara River.
This sounds like a fantastic idea. Let's go.
Guys, it's a fantastic idea, but I think you're forgetting something.
What are we forgetting?
Deciding on next week's topic, of course.
Oh gosh, how could we forget? I actually have a little surprise for you guys. Our family absolutely loves our local forests. They are beautiful and have an incredible story. We connected with our local municipality of York Region, and we're so excited to let our listeners know that in our next week's episode, we will be hosting the wonderful staff of York Regional Forests.
I love this. York Region forests are so wonderful and we visit them so often. I just can't wait to learn all about them.
Me too. I can't wait.
Great. Friends at home, we really hope that you enjoyed tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoy exploring these amazing topics along with us, we would really love it if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any platform that you listen to us on. In the review, please include some of your topic suggestions of what you would like us to explore, and we will be super excited to learn about that topic with you in future episodes. You can also send us an audio recording of your topic suggestion to our email, kidsplorers.podcast@gmail.com, and we will be super excited to feature your message in that episode. Your reviews are really important as they allow our podcast to grow. You can also connect with us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Kidsplorers Podcast. We always love hearing from you guys. And this is it, the end of our 20th episode.
Thank you all.
Until next week, goodbye.
Okay, friends, are you ready to explore the Niagara region? Let's go!